Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to OTL Racing here on Twitch, where we are on Automobilista 2 tonight for round number 4 of our sprint race series. We are at Jerez Chicane layout as well, so yeah, it's going to promise to be good fun. We've seen some great racing so far in the championship. Evening engine notes to see, Super Noble, good to see you all. Yes, it's a thoroughly good game, always getting better as well, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this tonight. We've had some good battles at the front and that mid-pack as well. Even with a slightly smaller grid, we have normally 13, 14, 10 up. I think we might have 12 this evening. But it's been some great racing, and yeah, it's good to see another game stroke sim. You know, some don't like calling them games. You know, entering the fray. But yes, hope you're all well. So it should be a good bit of racing this evening. So just waiting for the last one to maybe join the lobby, and then we should be good to go. So we have two races of the evening. No reverse grids or any of that palaver. Just jump in and go. I'm qualifying for both races as well. So it's a 6-week championship as well, so we'll have 2 weeks after this. So yeah, 10-minute qualifyings and 15-minute races as well. Seb, yeah, don't worry, I know that pain. It's like, oh, another game I can finish pretty far back on. Lovely. I just buy games to commentate on them nowadays. And now and again, occasionally, crash in. I would say race, but I jumped in the GT3 lobby about 20 minutes ago, and I didn't go as planned. So, yeah, I know my place. I know my place now. But no, it's always improving. GT3's just been added, literally a couple of days ago. There's a hot fix coming out tonight for a couple of issues they were having. With the Porsche's being a tad bouncy. But other than that, yeah, I think it's going great guns. And as I said, it's only going to get better. The update cycle of Automobilista 2 has been superb. And they're really transparent. Rita are a superb dev studio. So yeah, I think I feel pretty confident that it's only going to get better. The historic layouts you get for a lot of the tracks, superb, really great. And yeah, it's a nice selection of tracks you maybe don't get on other games as well. It's following me having a few issues here. I think hopefully he'll be with us in a second. If not, I think we'll be getting underway shortly either way. So how are you all either way? It's been a long old weekend, getting into the new week and the run up to the Monza race on Saturday. Make sure I don't lose my voice by then. No, hey, if you don't practice that, you've got a calendar, Scott. You know what it's for. Evening Chaos, Johnny Ash. Evening chaps. Just means you won't be win by as much. Scott, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Talking of fine, let's see how you're doing already then, Scott, in the standings so far. So look at that, only 18-point lead. So lost a few points last week. 194 to Fighting Ace in 176 in second. Sharpie 162 is not too far back. So 2 races tonight as well. So could claw a few points back from Scott if he's not got any practice in. But hey ho, that's his fault, no one else's. Dear Scott, what's the world coming to? Simo in fourth has missed a week, so I think it would be right up there had he not missed that, because he's normally pretty much in that fight for the top 3 or 4 positions. So guys normally in a fight of their own, and then the mid pack and the rear of the pack fighting between themselves. Yeah, that's cool. Hey, look, you just have to drive like the rest of us mere mortals, Scott, when we don't get to practice either. And then you have the batch in 5th. He's with us tonight. Esteban, Sebastian Magato in 6th. RWB Jagged in 7th on 69 points. Martin Webb in 8th at 63. Ronin Thunder in 9th on 53. In the bag, Bud in 10th, 49 points, just ahead of Paul Cole. Paul Cole not with us this evening. Zvonimir, he's in the 7th now. Actually, we've practiced, but yeah, no, I know. I'm not even going to deny that, Scott. I've given you a good race before, though. I'm all right. I'm not that hopeless. Just more hopeless than I used to be. Then we've got Zvonimir. We've got Man Mike, not able to drive tonight either. Lega in 14th. Admiral Bushido just joined the lobby there, so I think that will be all the drivers for tonight. And then Take It Easy in rounding out the points totals at the moment, down in 16th position. We all do it, Scott, we all do it. I'm sure you're just as bad as some of the rest of them, eh? 37, so no, it should be good. So, still got a decent roster of drivers, 13 with us this evening. So it's a good pace throughout as well. You get some good little groups to race amongst themselves. And yeah, I think AMS2 is only going to get better from here. So it's good to be running the league on it nice and early. And I'm sure we will be doing another one not too long after this one as well. So only a couple of weeks left after tonight. So next Monday is at Alton Park, the classic layout. So I think that's the one without the Hislop chicane. So you just score full beans all the way round. And then Taruma International. Yep, I don't know. I've not been there either. And that is the final week. Oh, car park. That didn't have a turning circle we quite wanted. Let's just double quickly check something. I think I can change to 13th now. Nice. A little bug we had before, but it looks like we are okay. So let's get some of those graphics off screen. Lovely. So lovely little motor vehicle these. So that final little cockpit position, you can see centrally sat for so a bit of weight distribution and also for a little bit of safety, which does make you worry a little bit about how strong these are around the outside of the chassis. But yeah, nice smack bang in the middle. It's nice change for a little tin top car like this. Not at the moment, Seb. Not that I know of. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think they're that far away. I wouldn't be surprised if those British tracks and Imola come out around the same time, because we saw Imola teased at the weekend. But yeah, it's going to be mega. So we've got some good, Sharpie. I'm not going to take the claim for that. Try and take the praise for that. Sharpie's got a few ideas in the pipeline for the British GT pack, and making the most of those. Doesn't take the world's most intelligent person to work out what we might be thinking. But we're going to have a look, and I think they'll probably be coming out at the end of this year, hopefully. If not, I suppose maybe early next. I don't think they're that far away though. Yeah, can't wait for them. Can't wait. Should be good. So Scott starting the evening at the top of the pile, but not by much. And as you saw from the little bit of give and take we were giving to each other before the race in the chat, he didn't do as much practice as he would like. He normally gets quite a bit of practice in, but not tonight. So just had a very busy day, unfortunately, with work stuff. So it's be interesting to see how he fares around here. Not a track. It's a good thing I like about AMS2. Plenty of tracks you don't really get to drive everywhere else. Obviously, Jerez is mostly known for MotoGP, motorcycle layout. Where they don't have the chicane in tonight, it's the one where we do. Sharpie with the first time there, a 2092. Let's see if that's representative though. It's a fairly long circuit. It's about 13, 14 corners. And there's some interesting corner names as well. One very much standing out, especially if you've got a slightly immature sense of humour, like myself. And I think it's this one who's coming around now, actually. I think that might be. There's a corner. Yeah, and again, I know I'm a grown up. I'm very mature, and I've not got a dirty sense of humour. But there is a corner on this track that's called Dry Sack. So, I mean, what am I meant to do but laugh? I mean, I can't. It's like they did that on purpose, surely. You don't name a corner that and think you're going to get away with it, surely. Yes, I did have a little bit of a giggle. So let's see what time Scott puts in. I know, see, good. I'm glad you laughed as well, sir. Yeah, you can't call it a corner Dry Sack. And they must have been doing that for a bet. So I'll give you 50 quid if you call that corner this. Right, done. Thank you. I'll have the money. So it should do start seeing some times coming in now, as long as no one's been invalidating. Also take it easy, so he did pop in now. Is attending tonight. 156.2 from him, 55.8 from Scott. Half second though off of Fighting Ace. So Fighting Ace at the top of the pile, just behind him on circuit. Might have got a little bit of slipstream. Yeah, I'm not saying that out loud, but it's like a bomb hole at Snetterton. You can't call it that. You just have to say bum hole, because again, we're all children. You should see some of the team names for Monza at the weekend, Seb. Oh, it's terrible. Fish's team, Harden Long Motorsport. Child. Absolute child. There was worse, but they didn't actually turn. I don't think they're racing now. That was the worst one. But yeah, like I said, you give a grown man a chance to name something, and I cannot avoid naming something to do with toilet humour or men's parts. It's so immature. But we're all just as bad as each other. Sharpie up the top now, 54.993. So Fighting Ace, looking strong. So Scott just in front of him on track. So it'd be interesting to see if he gains any time from just hugging in behind him. There probably is a corner called that as well, isn't there, Seb? If we look hard enough, I'm sure we'd find one. So a little bit crowded now. Fighting Ace just getting up to the back of Scott. Take it easy, not too far back, 56.2. It's a good lap early doors. So it's a fairly long circuit. So the races aren't terribly long, so there won't be that many laps. 15-minute races in this, so 8 laps. So you do their times improve. A little bit of slipstream, that should help him, you'd imagine. But yeah, there we go, 54.239. So Scott giving him a little bit of a toe, Sharpie. So he's looked good this championship. We've had a few drivers not quite get their own way, where they've had just a few mishaps here or there. A few little bumps with each other. Sharpie puts it back up into pole position now, 53.953. Take it easy, is in the pits. Let's go on board with Mr. Magato, Esteban. Currently in 5th, 2.6 seconds back, so you can see that group a little bit further back than the rest. So it doesn't look like Simo has made it tonight, unfortunately, but so you might see that front three very much broke away in a pack, as they have done a couple of times this season. And you have Esteban de Batch just popping him up into 5th, so again, he's looked pretty strong so far in this championship, but it's pretty comfortable on AMS2, do I have to say. Seems to suit him. It's obviously those of us that quite like Project Cars 2, especially on PC, where we were maybe more used to that. I think have probably adapted slightly better to this. We do other games, and he's looking pretty strong. Pretty solid, consistent midfield finisher. Generally seems to be near the front of that pack. And he's very much liking it. New update a few days ago, quite a major update. New, very much worked on force feedback engine, and yeah, a lot of praise coming out for it so far. But just making sure they have to get their settings, get all their wheel settings right. Have to recalibrate those. Just make sure you're feeling comfortable. So that can take a little bit of time. So you might see a little bit of bending in from a few of them that maybe haven't had much time, or racing multiple leagues here. Quite a lot of them do this and ACC on a Thursday. Some do race from on a Friday as well. And we obviously had the qualifying for the Monza race, as I said, on Saturday, 6-hour Monza endurance on ACC is this coming Saturday. So quite a few took part in the qualifying. It's just gone. On Saturday, and that was great fun. Some of the times were insane. That first qualifying session, the main qualifying session, I think was it 26 positions, covered less than a second. The 1.2 covered 32 places. It was amazing. Thoroughly enjoyed seeing that, and yeah, can't wait for the race. But we've got a few streams to come. So we've got tonight. We have we've got this tonight. We've got confused myself. We've got Project Cars 2 tomorrow. The touring cars. And then we've got ACC GT3 round 2 on Thursday. I've got an evaluation race, second evaluation, final evaluation race for the upcoming Race Room League as well. BMW 235i. So staying away from those touring cars and DTMs for another season. So I'm sure we'll go back to them pretty shortly. But I think they want to try a little bit different, something a little bit of a change. A lot of other communities do the obvious few leagues, which is fair enough, and I'm sure we will go back to them sooner rather than later. But for now, yeah, just trying a few little bit of something different out. Mike Webb in 3.4 back. It's fairly clear of the guys behind him. So not everyone on here is going to have the chance to have gotten loads of practice in, and even if they have, it's not the easiest circuit. You can't really just learn it completely and be comfortable completely in an hour or two. So these guys still not setting bad times. Those up the front are very fast. But I can't wait to see when this game gets an even larger player base as well. I think it's coming. I think a few people are going to start picking it up when it becomes even cheaper than it already is in the sort of Black Friday type sales. So it's already on sale on CD keys, for example. I think it's about £22, £23. It's about £25, £26 on Steam, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down slightly more. So there's a checker flag is out. Let's watch Martin come across the line. Does he improve? Currently in 8th spot, 3.4 off the time. A couple of tenths improved there, but not enough to gain any places. So Sharpie in the pits. He is done. Take it easy. And Zvonimir as well. Oh, Fighting Ace is done. He will not be taking pole. That amount of gravel does not make you any faster. Scott's still going for it though. How strong a lap is he on? See, I think that's just. I think he may have been checkered flagged. I think that most of them are done then. Esteban still out on a hot lap. Not always that easy to tell with these. Admiral Bushido, I think he's just crossed the line. 158.136 from him in the bag bud. And now see, that's what a sprint race car looks like going at full lick. Nice livery that as well. Very, very nice. So sitting in 10th at the moment, just ahead of Rolling Thunder. So Lega struggling a little bit so far. And seems that pretty much like to get home from work and jump straight on. So poor thing's probably falling, is trying to not fall asleep at the moment. So he's just see what you can do, try and do his best. That's all you can ask for. So I think we are all but done then for qualifying for race number 1. So Jagger's still out. Lega out second there. So we were all finished. There we go. So Sharpie, superb time there, 53.953, just beating Fighting Ace and Scott to that pole position. It's usually those three, as I said, fighting amongst themselves for the race win. We've had some amazing fights. Unfortunately, a few of them have been ended by just little collisions towards the end. Just sometimes the cars can sort of pop off of each other quite fast and react pretty extremely. So, yeah, it's a bit unlucky. It's cost us a couple of really awesome last lap battles, but hopefully not. Hopefully that won't happen tonight. But yeah, Sharpie with a really, really good pole there. Finally, Scott, take it easy, getting 4th. He'll be pretty happy with that with Loic. And Esteban in 5th. Just ahead of Debatch Zvonimir, 7th. Martin Webb coming home in 8th. Let's just put Sharpie's time into spreadsheet, and then we can check the points after this first race. Obviously you get a point for that pole position, so they all add up. It's well worth pushing for that pole if you really can, but it's a good margin of superiority though. That 2.286 of a second, I think he'll be feeling pretty strong going into the race. So it should already pretty much be ready to go. The best ACC drivers are here, evidently. Yeah, looking forward to Thursday. I've been enjoying that so far. Taking a while to get to the lobby. Hopefully everything is okay. Taking a little while. Does have me a little bit worried that there might be an issue. Hopefully not though. Yeah, fingers crossed. In a second we can get going into the race. So it's quite, there we go. That was quite a long holding session. Crikey, that's a loud helicopter noise, isn't it? That or someone's doing the hoovering. Very inopportune moment. Yeah, if you feel like you feel like it ain't safe, then yeah, just pit it. Don't really drive around crashing into people or walls or anything if you're really struck. Really can't keep your eyes open. Go Lego. Well, let's say someone's got the support there. Just to, yeah, I think what he needs is a bit of a sleep. Poor thing. This is your too tired to spin. Hopefully, yeah, poor thing. Why can I put that early? So there we go. Got my twos a bit too. They've got people that. Oh yeah, I know what you've been having trouble with like that at work. So we are off and away. Sharpie with a cracking start, fighting ace. To his left, has not lost any places, but it doesn't look like he's really gained any time on Sharpie there. Scott right in behind, coming to turn one, slips out the inside, has done very well there, so a little bit of room, the door just big enough to fit his car through, and he's walked it through nicely. Take it easy. Just behind them, still keeping tabs on them nicely with Esteban, Mr. Sebastian just behind. Oh, we had a car in a bit of a moment there, can't quite catch it because he keeps going backwards. Oh, so one of them has turned it round, unfortunately. We've got Rolling Thunder as well, and Lego, we've had a bit of a moment early on by the things. Oh, no, Lego hasn't. Oh, he has. I can't click on him. Okay, yeah, the game's still got that 13th place bug then. Lovely. A little irritating bugs it's got like that, but I can deal with them. Apart from that, I love the game, so I can't complain. So, Scott in second. Gets ahead of Fighting Ace. Halfway through lap number 1. He wants to be on the hunt for Sharpie. Sharpie strong here, like he is in a lot of places. So these cars are great fun to chuck around, but they do bite. They do, you know, in a 15-minute race, you can make mistakes. If you don't manage the tyre wear, they will cook, and then yeah, off you can go very, very easily. So New Wave Racing 2, thank you very much for the follow. Very kind, much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, the racing. Any questions? Do feel free to shoot them in the chat. But yeah, thank you for the follow. Much obliged. So coming round towards the end of the first lap now. You can see the front three have made a little bit of a gap between themselves and the rest. Take it easy though, in fourth, still holding on nicely. It's got Esteban looking up the inside, not quite making that move. Just gets on the brakes early enough, but he's going to get alongside now. I think Take It Easy maybe hindered slightly by seeing that black and yellow car maybe shooting up the inside of him, but he just holds back, keeps him behind still though, keeps enough momentum to keep Sebastian behind. We've got the batch as well here in sixth. Again, solid showing from him so far, only a couple of minutes into the race, but it's trying to keep your nose clean at the start is one of the challenges. Oh, there's a bit of a nightmare there though, not probably the quickest way to do that turn. Let's go back on board with the front runners though. As always, these three really tussling between themselves. Fighting Ace though looking down the inside. We know he likes the move. Sharpie going slightly wide. Yeah, so Fighting Ace, is that Fighting Ace? Sorry, that's Scott. No, Scott does like a move as well, to be fair. So it's not not an untoward comment. Scott closing off that angle, does not want Fighting Ace going up the inside, so he closes that line off to him. Stays very much middle of the road at the moment. Sharpie going wide though. Oh, and there we go. Scott will not need another invitation. He will pop it through. He will try to. Oh, he's got. Let's get his name right there. Sharpie trying to rejoin the chat, but not touch the back of Scott, and he couldn't quite be sure that if he came on, he wasn't going to tab the rear of Scott's car. So he gets back on, but yeah, he's pretty good racecraft wise there. He didn't want to just turn in and end up with a big old crash early on in the race, so it's a bit more caution, and he did the right thing. So he's got Fighting Ace behind him now. A little bit of gravel. Oh, that's going to send him wide, so he'll be popping it down into third. Oh no, he's turned it on the gravel on the exit completely then. He's going to have to hold his brakes there. At least he can turn around on the inside and get going again. So he will have lost a few positions, but as I said, the errors are very doable in these cars. Love the inside line for that corner. We'll have Jagger just behind him. So he'll have to push again now. He's still a fair way back, so he'll do well to fight with his guys. But we saw a couple of weeks ago when him and Scott had to push after having drive-throughs for issues at the start. They can catch them. Oh, I'm saying that. Who was that in the background? Is that Esteban? That's the maybe it's the black. Maybe it's a very spinny livery, very slippery car. If you go in black and yellow, oh, that got me a little bit nervous. That rejoin, but he looked okay. So he's back on now, but down in 9th. So there's one just behind him. So a few cars having their issues. Like I said, these cars are pretty easy to spin. No, it's cutting, but the front two could do the same. These cars are. You feel fine. But if you make a mistake, you pay for the mistake. You know, it's not it's not sterile. It does bite you. It's Fighting Ace looking again. So a lot of movement. So he doesn't stay still. Doesn't just slot in there. Fighting Ace, quite an aggressive driver, I suppose. Not constantly dive bombing, not that kind of aggressive, but he's always there or thereabouts. He's always looking to try and get past any opportunity, making any move. And he's alongside now, but Scott does have that inside line. Was Fighting Ace trying to go the long way round, or we'll go for the cutback. It's got to be smart here and just sort of park it on the apex. Just hold off any opportunity to dive on the inside. Yeah, I see what you mean. I 100% see what you mean there. I think they're a bit more fun, maybe a little bit more sporty. But yeah, no, they're not bad. They're a fast car. They're not particularly heavy. They weigh, I think, pretty much bang on a ton. And they keep you on your toes. Fighting Ace looking the long way around, squeezing Scott to the apex a little bit. Scott giving him a little bit of room, but no more than he wants him to have. And Fighting Ace is going to have to slot in again. He will. So Scott holds on to that lead. So how far back is Take It Easy? Not too far back. He's driving a pretty solid race for himself here. A quicker lap on the last lap than those lead two as well. So if you can keep up those laps, especially if the front two are giving each other any hassle, then Take It Easy here in 3rd. We'll probably shut that gap down nice but surely. We've got 9 minutes left. We've got plenty of time to do so. Let's go back on board with the batch. So he's holding off in the bag butt at the moment, 4th and 5th from the both of them. So taking advantage of the mistakes from Average Sharpie and Esteban. Earlier on, there's black and yellow cars, both having a spin. Looks like Sharpie just getting past Admiral Bushido. There we go, up into 6th now, so making his move up through the field. So I think he can still pretty realistically hope for top 4. Top 3 might be a bit of a push. We'll have to go through the traffic just a little bit. It's going to take him a little bit of time still. But he's pushing on strongly. So it's quite a big mistake. He went on you saw earlier he went on that gravel, and then as he's tried to rejoin, he's gone on the gravel again a bit further round, and the other car's gone on him. But that is the way it happens sometimes on here. So Scott keeping Fighting Ace behind nicely. So the view from Fighting Ace's cockpit. So Scott will always try to hold that inside line. So from the cockpit, you can see how close they get. Scott not quite getting the drive out there. As I said, from cockpit view, you can see how close they do get around those tight corners. And it's up to Fighting Ace to just judge it, so he doesn't get too low, doesn't spin him round. Doesn't want to get close, but not any closer than necessary. Give himself a little bit more room as well. You don't want to get too close to the point where you don't actually have the ability to make the most of a good corner exit, because the car in front has had a bit of a nightmare. Ended up just stumbling up the back of the inside, stumbling up the back of the car in front. Apologies for making a bit of a mess of my words there. So just over halfway through the race now. These two still fighting valiantly. So Take It Easy. Just drop back a little bit now. Lap times of a couple of laps ago have gone away a little bit. And look at that. So it looks like Sharpie has already caught in the bag bud and the batch. So it's going to be a 3-way battle for that 4th spot. Sharpie knows he has the pace. The other two will know he has the pace as well. But how does Sharpie go about getting past? He's going to maybe line up moves on the faster sections, going out into the straights maybe. It's pretty difficult to fly past. On the roof cam. It's going to maybe have a look, but thinks maybe that isn't the smartest time to do so. It's probably wise racecraft. So he's just biding his time here. He knows at 4th he's probably going to be as far forward as he pushes anyways. You can see 3rd up the road, but again, it would take a spin from one of them. So you can see here all these guys moving about. The batch at the front in the bag bud. And they look hampering each other a little bit, so that would let Bushido catch up to them if he can push well. But just being tentative here. Got to be careful there. Little nudge on Sharpie from in the bag bud. Not sure if he was even aware he was there, but I think he would. I'd imagine he would be. So it's a fun twisty circuit. You don't get much time to rest. Couple of straights. Oh, Sharpie's favourite corner. I think that's where he span off earlier. So loses a little bit of time there. A lovely camera shot that, you do say. Someone stuck a sellotaped a GoPro to the top of your car. It looks good. Oh, saying that, so look, there has been a mistake. So fighting Ace, look at that, was fighting for the lead earlier. 7.5 seconds down. Look, that's that fight we were watching just now in the bag bud. And the batch with Sharpie behind them. Fighting Ace now is only a couple of seconds up the road from them. So Scott is on for a pretty much comfortable win now if he doesn't make a mistake of his own. Got a lead of about 3.2 seconds. Take it easy. In second now, again making the most of other people's mistakes. That's, I mean, it's all you can do really. Saw Sharpie spin early. Seen Fighting Ace spin as well. Saw Esteban have a spin too. So there's been plenty of spinning going on this evening. So it's only first race of 2 as well. It's not really silly mistakes here. This car just bites sometimes. I mean, it is a mistake, but by letter of the law. But there's nothing silly. No awful driving. Just sometimes that's the way it goes. Let's go back on board with Sharpie, and that fight just ahead of him. We're on board with the bag bud here in that batch and Sharpie sandwich. I'm just going to call you Bill. Thank you very much for the follow. Or Bill M. I'm just going to Bill M. Buttlicker. Nice. Oh dear, oh dear. Some people's usernames, dear Lord. Cheers for the follow, much appreciated. So Sharpie just struggling to get through at the moment. Those two holding it off. A little bit of a catch there, so that's going to lost him a little bit of time. Good few tenths gone by the wayside there. Evening leg. Legs in the pits then, I can assume. Yeah, he is. Fair enough. And Sharpie in the pits, I guess he's making a mistake. He's going to catch that. Oh yeah, he got very nervous about that spinning there. You can see he's put the anchors on to stop that going round. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but he's pushing. He wants to get past those two in front. Yeah, cheers for the 100. Cheers, Legger. Thank you very much, man. So yeah, not sure there'll be too much he can do. You can see the fight behind as well. So that is Bushido at the front, the 09 car with Esteban, and then RWB Jagged just behind. Let's go for a slightly different cam. So from underneath the bumper of Jagged, helicopter flying above there. So I do like the way this game looks and feels. Definitely worth a try if anyone has the chance. Yeah, fair play for trying leg anyways. Says I'm not sure how easy I'd find it driving after that long a shift. Especially with no practice and stuff like that, so don't worry about it, dude. So being dropped a little bit. It's a bit of a gap between him and the two in front, about half a second, but they are fighting with each other. Esteban up the inside. Bushido pushed slightly wide. That might give a chance. So you can see there. Oh, yeah, Esteban's gone round. So I think he's just touched the gravel. You can see a little bit of gravel being flicked up, and I think he might have just put 2 wheels on the grass. Maybe. Yeah, it wasn't really too much wrong with that. Yeah, but round it sent him, unfortunately. So can Jagger get up the inside? He will do. So that'll take another spot up into 7th now. Sharpie still not far back. Yes, he's caught back up to in the bag by Dan Batch. Yeah, he's like, no, I love 14-hour shifts. Oh, yeah, can't get enough of them. So Sharpie looking fighty now. He knows he needs to make a move. Next 2 minutes are vital. Not a fan of that corner, though. Those gravel traps have been a bit of a kick in the bottom for him tonight. 100 cheers again. Thank you very much, Leg. As always, ma'am. Scott's got a lead. Has dropped a little bit of time, but still 2.3 seconds clear. Fighting Ace, actually, not far back from Take It Easy. So want to snap back that second spot, which will be a good claim. So Take It Easy was a good 5 seconds ahead of Fighting Ace at one point, but Fighting Ace has been pushing hard. 154.8 on the last lap. 54.8 again, two very similar laps there. Scott actually had a 159, so I think Scott has definitely made a mistake. Oh dear. I don't want to be wishing people to spin. It's a bit harsh of us, isn't it? Take It Easy in second. He's now going to have Fighting Ace all over his trumpet, and there's not much you can do about it apart from get his elbows out and make sure he focuses on his own pace here. Does not want to get too distracted from that car behind, make any silly mistake, and then go backwards. Let's quickly go back on board with Sharpie. So in the bag buds. Made a bit of an error, so he's popped behind. So it's just a batch in front now. It's a little bit of time between them. So those three have spread out in the back bud in the gravel. Going easily down on here. Not the easiest circuit to keep it on track. It does punish you when you go off on Fighting Ace. Yeah, typical. We go off. If it makes a move, I come back. The life of a cameraman. Oh, look, I Take It Easy's done well to avoid contact there. Just got a little bit of a lock of the brakes. You can see there. A little bit of puff of smoke. But it keeps it out the side of that number 44. So Take It Easy looks good for still a top 3. Only 10 seconds left to go of the timer. So we'll go on board with Scott. Supreme drive from him. So just not made any mistakes. It's very typical Scott, really. Quick, but also consistent. Kept it nice and tidy when there was close battles at the front. And then made sure that when those around him were making mistakes, he didn't follow them and spin it around either. And he'll be on for another superb win, strengthening that championship lead that we saw just before the start of the race. So just being tentative now, trying to make sure he doesn't push too hard. And he'll be very happy with his evening's driving. So first race win of the night for Scott. Well done to Scott there for the race number 1. Fighting Ace takes second. Take It Easy with a very good podium spot. And it looks like Sharpie on the final corner. And he's just going to beat the batch down to the line. And look how close that is. So Sharpie just takes 4th ahead of the batch. In the bag bud. Takes 6th. Jagged will take 7th, just ahead of Admiral Bushido in 8th. We've got Martin Webb in 9th. There's Vonnemeer a few seconds back. We have Esteban just behind them in 11th. And then we'll have Rolling Thunder just a couple more corners to go. A bit of a struggle there. But getting it home, so not too far off the pack as well. Still brings home some points, and they all add up. So superb. There'll be some good lap times in that, I'd imagine, as well. Let's save the replay just in case. Lovely stuff. So let's quickly get those final positions put in, so we can have a look at the points in a minute. So Martin Webb coming home in 9th, just ahead of Zvonimir. We have Esteban, unfortunately, dropping back. A few mistakes from him. Just behind Zvonimir, we had Rolling Thunder in 12th, and then Lega was a retiree in 13th position. And who got the fastest lap? A 54.304. That is an insanely fast lap. Yeah, and no one got anywhere near that. 54.304, nearly 6.5 tenths quicker than the next best lap. So an absolute stonker of a lap. 154.304 from Fighting Ace. Well done there. We'll gain him that extra point. So as I said, they all add up come the end of the championship. But yeah, some great driving there from Scott. Doing what he always does. Quick and consistent. It's pretty hard to do. It's the reason he's up the top. And Fighting Ace, though, still getting up back onto the podium. Take It Easy. They'll be very happy as well with that third very solid race. Maybe not had the sheer pace of the guys in front, but did not make any errors. Did not spin at all. And yeah, brings it home in third. So I'll be very happy with that. Well done to him. So yes, we have 2 races of the evening. Same again, 10-minute quali, 15-minute race. Very same circuit. And yeah, they take what they learned from that first race and try and push on a little bit, especially when a lot of the guys don't get the time to practice maybe as much as they'd like, or at all, depending on work and family and bits and bobs like that. Sometimes quality in race for the first race is very much your practice. So yes, it'll be interesting to see how they fare, maybe if they are a little bit faster, a little bit more comfortable with the track in race number 2. Didn't see too many incidents or any issues there. So I think everyone's pretty much in already, and we can get going in but a second. Yeah, everyone's starting to ready up already. Oh, 5 or 6 of us in one go. But yeah, solid stuff from race number 1. So it's a fun game to drive on this. I do think it's. I'm gagging for everyone to get on it and get a go and enjoy it, and then be like, oh hello, I have to do some more events in these. There's a multiplayer system coming in December as well, so I'm fascinated to see what that is. Maybe it's some kind of scheduled race type thing of different classes, and there's plenty of different classes in here that'd be really awesome to drive. Oh, I'll be honest, Scott, to have only done a 59 with having had your wheel come off, I'm quite impressed by that, if I'm honest. Did you swear? More than once? I bet the answer is yes. Bet some expletives were used. What the... Oh, geez. And then quickly just clamped it back on and went. Yeah, I don't know how you've managed that, Scott, but well done nonetheless. Oh, it has put me in the game again. Huh, weird. That bug's done. So my car will probably be on track and it will kick me out because it thinks my car's not moving, and I'll just have to watch the rest of the race as a spectator. So the camera controls will be slightly different. Yeah, I did wonder. Was that Washington? You'll be Washington, okay. Yes, but I said it is cheaper already. It's been on sale for a few days. It's £23 on CD keys, but I don't know what it's in euros. But it won't be too much. But yeah, I think there'll be quite a few people picking it up if it goes a bit cheaper for Black Friday. So GT3s and GT4s very much, I'm hoping bring more drivers to the game too. More Lafayette. No, it's the problem with reading what people write online. You're like, am I being silly? Does that make any sense and I'm just being stupid? Or... You're never quite sure. It's like, maybe that is me. Maybe that actually makes sense to everyone else, and I haven't. Well, it's just me that doesn't have a clue. It wouldn't be the first time, and it would not be the last. So it is very much a game that is more of the Project Cars feel. But I think that's not a bad thing. Project Cars had a lot of fans necessarily. They were just annoyed about bugs and the way it went in the end. Probably because I think they probably liked the base product and you could see where it could go. And I think AMS2 is a good demonstration of where it does go, I think, when you do it well. So a few minutes in now to quali. So I should see some lap times coming in very shortly. So ignore the fact that I'm in the game in the pits. We've had that bug a couple of times. Didn't get it last week. Thought we'd solved it. Turns out it was just luck. Because it has done it again this week. Whether my car ghosts on the circuit, I'm not sure, but hopefully they'll just drive around it anyways. Hopefully it won't be in a really irritating spot. After a few minutes, the game will kick it anyways. Will chuck me back to the pits where I belong. So no lap times yet, but we shouldn't be too far off. Let's come with Sharpie. Where is he? Let's have a look. So beautiful blue skies, sunny day there. I see a drone just above the track. Very nice. A modern circuit. So what does Sharpie set then? Coming down to the line. So 153.874. That's a very good start. Very, very good start indeed. Let's go aboard with Fighting Ace just comes to the line. Scott, so those front three already over the line. All within 3/4 of a second of each other as well. Next to band, take it easy, Martin Webb, all set in times. Getting something on the board. Give me 2 seconds. I've just got to run out of water already. Unfortunately, it's gotten really warm in here. I don't know if I'm actually getting a bit poorly. Hopefully not with that, but yeah. But yeah, give me 2 seconds. Just going to grab some water, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. I'm back, everybody. So yes, everyone set out on circuit, apart from me, as you can see at the bottom. So just over a quarter of a second separating Scott and Fighting Ace. Scott not improving. Is that Sharpie just ahead of him, or is that Seb? No, that is Sharpie right in front, so occupying a very similar part of the track. Scott getting a little bit screwed there. 3 of your drivers already in the pits. Thunder, Lega and in the bag bud. So take it easy out on circuit. Still, we've got to go on board with Fighting Ace. Let's see where he is. Oh, just behind. Is that Scott? It is. So they are similar parts of the circuit. Did not go well there for Scott. No, Fighting Ace is following him with the mistake, chucking it into the gravel. So as long as you don't do that in the race, so he'll get that off circuit. He'll pull over and he'll hop back to the pits, I'm sure. Let's go on board with Loic Martin. Let's take it easy. Oh, damn it. So commentator's curse. Maybe I just got a gravel magnet. See if I do it to anyone else. Let's see if he does it too. So please, Seb, don't make me look bad here. So Fighting Ace is in the pits. He is done. As we saw, he slowed down. That was him finished. Take it easy. He's in the pits. Thunder, Lega in the back bud, and Bushido also done. So Martin Webbs, Vonnemir, Esteban, Scott and Sharpie all still on circuit, trying to improve. It's about getting a bit bit sideways, very sideways. Loads of sideways. Copious amounts of sideways, in fact. So that's not gone too well, unfortunately. But ho-ho. It's going to happen. If you're going to do it in qualifying, pushing for quick times. Don't do it in the race. That's the important part. That's why Scott's doing so well. He's just staying off those mistakes more than everyone else. Sharpie then, does he improve? Doesn't, and he does have enough time for one more lap, but he is not going to use it. Off in towards the barriers and back into the pit, so he's done. Scott could have one more lap if he wants it, maybe. Yeah, he's crossed. Yeah, so he crossed the line there, like pretty much a second, maybe 2 seconds to go. So he's probably going to continue. Copious amounts of sideways. He's got a surplus of sideways. To be honest, I think quite a few of them have got quite a lot of that, to be honest. They literally can't move for sideways. Now it's a good car. It's not particularly a nightmare to handle like that or anything. It's just when it goes, you know. So do you heat those tyres up too much and you get a bit George Russell with the throttle, it sends you round. I had to approve that, by the way, because you said the word "I hate French." Twitch was like, "Oh, hate speech." I had to approve that. I've now added the permitted term to "I hate French," so might open the doors a little bit. So I've got to be careful there. But I did wonder why it was so angry. I was like, "Oh, it thinks you're being nasty to your own nationality." Joy. It's very nice though, it's very romantic. Continental. Congrats on P14, thank you. Yeah, my best finish yet. Unfortunately, I'm going to be disqualified from the race, which is a bit of a bummer. Thanks for the 100 cheers, man. Yeah, it's going to keep him from the race. About 2 minutes in, then it'll pop me back to the pits, and then I have to join it as a. I just have to monitor like a driver that's retired. It's a bit weird, a little bit annoying, but hey ho. So they're focusing on the driving side of it. Oh, last corner as well there. Scott's got a bit too loose, and that is him finished. So that is everybody bars Vonomir, and that's Vonomir in as well now. So that is their lot. So let's see. Yeah, so 13. They said 14, but I'm not racing, despite what that says there. So let's go back to the top. So Fighting Ace takes the pole position for our second race this evening. Very well driven from him there. At 1:53.699. Let's get that put in, so that we can keep up to date with how things are going. We can look at the points after tonight's final race. But no, solid lap that. That was nearly 2 tenths clear of Sharpie. Scott another 10th back, and then another 9 tenths back to take it easy in 4th. Vonomir at 5th, 1.5 seconds back. He's a 10th ahead of Exterban in 6th. Martin Webb in 7th, a few tenths further back. And Debach in 8th, Ronnie Thunder in 9th. Oh dear, I've just seen that Automobilista 2 has just announced it's released its hot fix. Please don't cause any problems with the link race. Oh, we were worried that was going to happen. Yeah, we were a little bit worried that might happen, but hopefully it won't cause anyone any problems. No auto updates or any of that gubbins happening now. But yeah, we'll get going into race number 2 very shortly. Again, 15 minutes as before. So we'll get all 13 plus moi. So where's my car on circuit? Is it right at the back? It is. If only I could actually take part if this happens. I'd be like, oh, go on then. If I must. Unfortunately, not the case. So I wonder if that is a helicopter or if that's just a really big drone. Sounds pretty helicopter-y to me. But I'd love to see. I'd love to know. Yeah, I know. I know I'm on track. Yeah, it happened. It happened 2 weeks ago. It will disqualify my car for not making enough progress. Feel that pain. And they are off. Great start from Fighting Ace. Looks like someone's moved over immediately. There was that. No, was that Martin Webb? Was it Jagged? So someone moved over very early. Like they had a problem. Oh, it wasn't. Yeah, it won't let me select, but it was Martin Webb. So not sure quite what's happened there. A little tap on the corner, but got out of that nicely to make sure they didn't have a spin round. But fighting Ace and Sharpie side by side. Nice and early on in the first lap. Sharpie stays on the curb, uses as much of the inside curb as is allowed. Fighting Ace just giving him enough room, but Sharpie looking strong here. Fighting Ace will have to go a little bit wide. Scott will be making a look down the outside. He'll have to use that runoff as well. Fighting Ace will be on his inside though, but Scott making a move up into the top three. A little bit of a panel noise in the background, or someone going round. Was that Fighting Ace? It was. Once I can catch him, so he's down into 12th. So who hit who there? I'm not entirely sure. So Lega's at the. No, is that Lega? That is not Lega. I keep clicking Lega, and it's not him. My car, yep, sat on circuit. So they'll see that when they come round. So look at that, Sharpie off into the lead already. So it looks like Scott got caught up with Fighting Ace, I think there. Scott down into 6th now. Come on, Leg. No negative comments in the chat. No whinging in the stream chat. Doesn't look good. Come on. Sorry, if you know what you know the drill anyways of the incidents and whatnot, as I'm sure you will do. So take it easy. Still within a second to Sharpie, still hanging on nicely. Ah, there you go. Get my retiring insufficient progress thing for the car on track, so that'll go away in a second. That's Volumir still holding on to 3rd. Esteban just behind them. So Scott down in 6th, but trying to make the move on. So was that Rolling Thunder? It was. So a little bit of elbows out there. Oh, there we go. So it kicks me back to the pits, and then I have to go this way. So the cameras look a little bit different now, but yeah, same thing. So there we go. Yeah, so you can see a little bit of detail if we need it. Just want to check, see if that does give us what we want. That's Volumir just getting going. I think that's Volumir having a moment there. Off into the gravel, so he gets underway again. Sharpie though, still holding on to that 3/4 of a second lead. Take it easy in 2nd as well. Keeping tabs on him nicely though. Esteban fair way back, but has Scott in behind him, so that's not going to be easy to defend against. He'll know what's coming as well. He'll be under no illusion to the speed of Scott. It's not a stranger to him at all, so he'll know what he's about to have unleashed upon him. And it'll be up to him now to drive a nice, solid, consistent few corners. But Scott's going to maybe make a move. Don't think Esteban's going to fight that too hard. Yeah, you can see there he went a bit wide. And, Scott goes through. Maybe they're going to fight back though with the cutback. Scott went a little bit wider on exit. Esteban coming a little bit narrower. Just goes a bit wide on that apex. So Scott gets away nice and cleanly into 3rd. So he's a few seconds back from Take It Easy in 2nd. Rolling Thunder having a good race in 5th, just ahead of it in the Bagbud in 6th. You can see Fighting Ace right amongst them as well. We've got a little bit squeezy there. Up into 7th with Martin Webb just behind us. So Jagged. So 2 very similar coloured cars. So Martin Webb's driving sideways so far. Top 8 still within 10 seconds of each other. 5 minutes into the race. The back's clearly getting caught up in something. You can see himself and Bushido some way off. 29.1 seconds for the batch, unfortunately. So 2:26 last lap. Must have been that's a big old crash. Whether he's ended up on his roof or something, I'm not sure. We'll find out afterwards. Maybe he's reset back to the track. Bushido, unfortunately, at the rear. So yeah, it's not gone to plan for them, unfortunately, in race 2 tonight. So it's actually race number 8 of the championship. 2 races tonight for 6 weeks. So 8 of 12 to make up the full championship. So 1.3 seconds for Sharpie. Back to Take It Easy. Always stretching that lead out a 10th here and a 10th there. Again, just needs to make sure he doesn't make any errors like he did in race number 1. So Scott's some way back. There's the extra band just behind him. Whether he can he see the cars up ahead? So yeah, he can. He's not. So these cars are a bit slower, so a 3 second gap isn't actually that massive in terms of track distance. So we've lost Pellicano, unfortunately, so yeah, we're having some issues there maybe. Or maybe just the race went very much against him. It looked like he was quite long, about a minute back in the end. So maybe he was struggling with something. We'll find out though. So about just under 4 seconds, Scott will be pushing. He really will want to try and catch Sharpie by the end. He's got 9.5 minutes to do so plenty of time. So take it easy, holding tabs on Sharpie very nicely though, you do have to say. Driving well for that second spot. You can see Sharpie not that far ahead either. Not that far at all. Gives you a nice wide angle view here of the circuit. So take it easy. Just driving really solid laps at the moment, not setting absolutely blistering times, but he's not far off the pace. So Scott's setting some cracking laps at the moment, 54.2 compared to the 54.7 and 54.8 of Sharpie and Easy respectively. Still 8.5 minutes to go, so lots can happen. You have to be making sure that you don't make any silly mistakes, end up in the gravel. See there, Scott though is closing that gap. It's 2 seconds between himself and Take It Easy, who we're still on board with. So Fighting Ace a little bit further back in 5th at the moment. So closing the gap, but he was actually second quickest car on track last lap after Scott's 54.2. There's not much between them. It will definitely be on the back of Esteban fairly shortly, I would imagine. So we'll have to be a little bit careful. A little bit of gravel though. So it's just been hampering him a little bit. So Esteban driving nicely, on for some good points if he can hold on. And Scott doing what he can. It's at 1.7 seconds now, so it's closed by a few tenths. And that gap from himself up to second. As they all come down the finish straight. Fighting Ace all at the back of Esteban now. We're taking a lot of curb there. Maybe a few liberties with that inside runoff, but the game will ping him for a track limit warning. Get 10 of those in the race, I believe. Before you get a penalty for that, which would be a drive-through. So these guys fighting for 4th and 5th. I don't think they'll be able to catch those in the top 3. But fighting nicely. Seb keeping a nice defensive line. But he's got not leave too much of room. A little bit of a tap though, Fighting Ace there. Got to give a little bit more space. When you see the other cars have not had the best corner, but he wasn't too far off the apex. It's just he's always going to get a slightly slower exit than you. So just need to give him that little bit of room. Just over 5.5 minutes to go now. And Sharpie still leading them away. 1.75 seconds from Take It Easy, who's now got Scott all over his rear bumper. So the fight is very much going to be these two now, you'd imagine. They want to catch Sharpie, but Scott's going to want to get past Take It Easy first so that he can have a go at Sharpie for the next 5 minutes. But that's going to be no easy feat here. Take It Easy driving nicely tonight. Looks solid, but saying that, goes wide there. You can see when those other drivers sort of get a Scott or a Sharpie behind them, they just make a little bit of a mistake. They go a little bit wider. And then I think they maybe accept their fate a little bit. Possibly. Scott up into second. So it's a 2.2 second gap from himself
up to Sharpie. So it'll be interesting to see his laps on the next, times on the next couple of laps. 1:53.9 on the last lap, so he's looking very strong there. But Take It Easy driving very nicely too. Fighting Ace and Extraban, so spread off a bit now. Extraban back in 5th. Fighting Ace getting a little bit of gap between himself and Extraban. In the back, Bud driving nice and safely in 6th position. Rolling Thunder fighting with Zvonimir at the moment, 7th and 8th. So still trying to muster up some good points. So even finishing further back, they all add up. League uses our usual 16 place points system. A little bit of a move up the inside for Zvonimir. It's very ambitious from that far back. It's not going to work. It's just going to hinder you more. Just want to be careful with that. Doesn't want to be looking like he's going for dives too often. Oh, and Delevy just tapped the back of the car in front there, and that sent him round. But that was pretty sudden. Maybe he just caught the grass or caught the curb funny, and yeah, the car did not like that. So he gets back underway. He's got the batch behind him, so they could still catch some points at the batch here. Also Martin Webb, you see they're trying to both catch up to Zvonimir now. See if they can have a good go at him in the last few minutes. So let's get back on board with Take It Easy. Let's see at the moment. So Scott got a good gap from him now. About 1.2, 1.3 seconds clear. Trying to make his move on the Sharpie. He's not too far up the road, 2.2 seconds. But so this car's got a good lick, but it's not the most. It's not the biggest distance on track. He's very visible. He says when you can't see him. There we go. So there's the race leader. So he's not far ahead. He has gained a couple of tenths on him. The last corner. Sharpie driving well at the moment. Still driving a nice, solid race. About 2.1 seconds. Just needs to make sure he doesn't make any silly mistakes this last lap and a half. So he's driven very well. Very much deserves a solid result. But still got to earn that. As you see the chicane here, part of the layout. The MotoGP bikes go round that part of the track on the left there without that chicane. They're just the two layouts we see of this circuit. So Take It Easy on for another good podium now. I'll be very happy with that. And Scott's pushing now, you can see that. He's closing that gap, but it's 1.6 seconds. As long as Sharpie doesn't make any absolutely disastrous mistake this last lap, even if Scott could gain by half a second, it should still be a fairly safe victory. So let's go slightly further back. So in the bad boys in lots of space here. Rolling Thunder up in 7th. We've got Jagged in 8th. So quite a few purple and white cars here. So Zvonimir down in 9th. Martin Webb up in 10th. The batch dropped back again a little bit in 11th. So just not quite had the rub of the green tonight by the looks of things. Just not gone his way. No Lega, yeah, very much not having his best of nights unfortunately tonight. But yeah, it did come in very rough this evening. Just trying to make sure he could attend tonight and get a couple of races in. So fair play to him. Not representative at all for Leg. About halfway around his final lap then. And you see Scott is closing 1.3. Sharpie not having the quickest lap last lap, a 55.209. Just making sure he doesn't make any mistakes now. So he's definitely managing pace here. He'll know he's only got a handful of corners to go. Doesn't want to let it get too close. I mean, Scott is not exactly miles away, but they haven't exactly got long left. Just a few more corners to go. So any longer, another lap, and this would get a bit bottom twitchy, I think, for Sharpie. But that's a great drive from Sharpie, do have to say, as they come down towards the final corner. Let's go on board with the trackside camera. Makes it nice and safely round the last turn. And he'll drive it down to the line. Well done, Sharpie. Fully deserved. Great win there. Scott getting very close in the end, actually down to half a second, but couldn't quite get up to average Sharpie, who takes the win. Well done there, Sharpie. Oh, that made me jump. Scott having a bit of a... I think Sharpie probably slammed on his brakes, to be honest. Take it easy, taking third. Nice spin there. Still driving quicker, driving faster backwards than I can in forwards. That's a great slide. Look at that from Fighting Ace in fourth. Esteban, will he join in? No, he's better than that. He's a more sophisticated chap. He takes fifth spot. In the bag, Bud in sixth. We're still going hell for leather. I think he's just picking who to hit. No, he's trying to get it through nicely. I'd have gone for Sharpie myself. Jagged and Thunder having a fight. Purple and white on purple and white, and they're both going to get a bit of gravel and run off here. So I'm not sure if there might be a little bit of a protest afterwards. I'm not sure there. We'll have a look. And Jagged and Rolling Thunder there, finishing the race 7th and 8th. I think he felt maybe a bit bad there, Thunder. He's let him back past just before the line by the looks of things. So Jagged taking 7th, Rolling Thunder 8th. Oh, Martin Webb just murdering someone. I think that was in the back, but Martin Webb finishes 9th. The Batch finishing in 10th. Zvonimir hasn't actually got to the line yet, but chuck it in reverse on. We'll get it turned around. That's a lot of... God, the landscape around here is not going to be pleased with you, Sunshine. Get it down to the line. Better late than never. And there we go. And then we have just the final car legger to come down to the line. And rounds out our finishers this evening. So let's just chuck the results in quickly so I can show you the results very, very shortly. RWB Jagged finishing in 7th. Rolling Thunder finishing in 8th. Martin Webb in 9th. The Batch finishing 10th. We have Zvonimir in 11th. And Lega and Admiral Bushido not finishing. And who got the fastest lap? Let's have a look. Let's save the replay as well, just in case. A 153.711 from Scott. Absolutely rapid that is. So 153.711 for Scott. Well done. Gets the fastest lap and the extra point for that. And after all the racing tonight, we'll have to have a look in a second and see how that leaves the standings at the end of racing tonight. Cheers to see. Cheers, ma'am. Catch you soon, ma'am. Much appreciated. Cheers for keeping us company tonight. So there we go. Scott, 261 points, leads Fighting Ace by a margin of 28. So a first and a second for Scott tonight. Very solid. Fighting Ace with a second and fourth. Not quite matching up what he could do there. Fighting Ace, Fighting Ace. Average Sharpie, fourth and a win in that second race. Obviously moves him up slightly closer. So he's only 11 points behind Fighting Ace now. The Batch still in fourth. Not the night he'd hoped for, but he still had some good results. Apart from, say, week 1, where it didn't quite go his way, he's had some solid finishes in between, and still had a 5th place in the first race tonight. Esteban in 5th on 129, only 8 further back from the Batch. Had a 5th in that second race tonight. Simo in 6th. I say he's done that on 2. He's only been able to make 2 of the 4 weeks so far. So you imagine where he'd be if he'd... he'd probably be top 3. I'm pretty certain he'd be top 3. He'd be very close at the top for sure. RWB Jagged in 7th on 99. In the bag, Bud in 8th, just ahead of Martin Webb 9th. Rolling Thunder 10th. Take It Easy down in 11th, ahead of DSRT is Zvonimir in 12th. Paul Cole in 13th. We had OTL Lega in 14th. Mad Mike 15th, and then Admiral Bushido rounding out the order in 16th. So yeah, some good racing as always. It's not the easiest car to drive, and it's around circuits that they're not always that familiar with. I haven't driven for quite a while. Everyone gets different levels of practice in. Some not been able to do it at all, obviously. But yeah, still good. And looking forward to where this game goes for sure. Looking forward to more leagues and more events on AMS2. So next week, round number 5 is at Alton Park Classic. So like I say, that's the full Alton Park. I believe that's the full Alton Park with the Hislop chicane taken out. Effectively, you just go full lick all the way around that outside of that loop. And yeah, it's good fun. So it's going to be fascinating to see how they fare next week. So I am back with you again tomorrow at the usual time of 8 p.m. GMT for round number 2 of the Touring Car League on Xbox One on Project Cars 2, and that is at Snetterton 200. So looking forward to that. That circuit will always provide really good racing. It's a very close league as well. On Thursday we had round number 2 of our GT3 league on ACC. It's season number 5 as well. So round number 2 is from Suzuka. So another 1 hour race there on Thursday night. So please do join me then. We have our second evaluation race from the Salzburg Ring Grand Prix from the BMW 235i Championship on Race Room. So that's 3 15-minute races. That's on Friday night. And then the big one to round out this week. On Saturday afternoon, we have the OTL 6 Hours of Monza. So that's the race day. Qualifying was last weekend. Was great fun, but really looking forward to next Saturday for the full race. So the race itself starts about 10 past 2 in the afternoon, with the driver briefing and a warm-up for half an hour before the race gets underway, so they can get into a rhythm and warm up. So yeah, looking forward to that. I'll be with you there. Hopefully we'll have some co-commentary during the race as well, especially for the second half. But yeah, looking forward to it. Should be good. So yeah, cheers everybody for watching. Much appreciated. And yeah, cheers for the new follows and the cheers earlier. I will catch you again tomorrow for a bit of Project Cars 2 on Xbox One. But until then, stay safe, take care, have a lovely Monday evening, and I will see you all next time.